Okay, so this is a non-exam assessment, the NEA, and the problem, and this is the problem and the brief, part 2. Okay, so we're just going to have a look. This is quite a common problem, excuse the pun. Okay, students can't decide what to design. So the first thing we're going to look at is some points here. So first off, can you make it in school? So if it's an aircraft carrier, no, you can't. Okay, but other things you need to consider. Okay, is it relevant to the challenge? Okay, so it's a very wide challenge that you've been given, teenage lifestyle, so you could fit pretty much anything into that. Will it access the marks I deserve? So again, is it complicated enough for me to actually access those marks? If I'm making a paper cup or an origami dragon, then no, it won't be. Will I enjoy working on this project for the next 9 months? Again, good question, because we anticipate that you'll be finishing this project in February 2021, so that's 9 months work. And the last one, which should go in hand, is does it interest me? Okay, so does it interest me? So yes, and I can work on it for the next 9 months. Okay. Here are a couple of problems that exemplar problems that are on the technologystudent.com. Okay, so the first one, the activity, waiting for a bus to go to school. Okay, very common for a teenager. Okay, standing for 20 minutes until the bus arrives. So options that you could design, possibly an umbrella, a seat, a case, something that can be folded up, something that can be taken on a bus, something that's not too expensive because it's going to be for a student, something that it doesn't really matter if it gets lost, okay, and something that isn't going to be an offensive weapon. Okay, the next one we're looking at reading a book at school or when traveling. Again, that could be interpreted as a mobile phone, possibly. So it's the problem. Everyday bookmarks often fall out of the book when it's on the bag. I lose the page and unmarked and waste time finding it again. So could it be dual purpose? Could it be about your identity? Could it be about the football club you like or the music you like? Okay. Could it help you remember things? Okay. And again, this one, is it complicated and in-depth enough for you to access those marks? So a couple of ideas. The next thing, presenting your design problem and design brief. Okay, so this is quite a good idea. You can do this. Remember, all your folders should be unique. Okay, so present the design problem at the top here. Okay, and then you put the design brief next to it. So today, traffic is an increasing problem on the roads. Okay, and then you're going to be designing a model here, or suggestions to design a model here. Okay. Think about the identity of the client, okay, or identifying the client, should I say. Okay, so you need to state who the client is at the beginning. I'm going to design a suitable stationary rest for use when sat at a chair settee. Okay, so those are examples of design briefs and design problem. Remember, you can put the design problem next to it. Okay, just going to have a look at the mark scheme here. Again, remember that we've done Band A. We're looking at done on Band A, identify and investigate design possibilities. And we're moving on to Band B, which is another 10 marks, and that's produce a design brief and specification. Okay, in the mark criteria, it says, based on conclusion from the investigation, students will outline design possibilities by producing a design brief and design specification. Don't worry about the specification at the moment, we'll be looking at that later. Students should review both throughout the project. Okay. Interesting thing to note here again is needs and wants. As I said in the last tape, was that if you put things under headings, then it's very easy to spot when we're marking. Okay, so top band here, 9 to 10 marks. Okay, comprehensive design brief, which clearly justifies how they will have considered the user's needs and user and client's needs and wants, and links directly to the context selected. Okay, so the context is the teenage lifestyle, and the user or the client is the person you've elected to make for the project, and that cannot be you. Okay, we'll go back to the first circle here, and we check against the cycle. Okay, and we've got the design problem identified, prove a problem exists. Okay, establish a target market, and then we're up to formulate a brief. Okay, and then we're going to go on to these ones later on. So analytical research for existing products, inspirational report, and the justification. All right, so that's a good thing to check against. Right, this is a really good resource for you to look at. It's the BBC Bite Size, and it takes you right to designing a QA, and that's the bit that we're looking at the moment. It's got lots of little videos, lots of questionnaires, lots of additional information that will really help you access those higher marks. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is just go over the points that I went over last time. Save all your work. Okay, so I'm going to get yourself a USB, put that on there, version 1, version 2, version 3. Keep all your drawings. Okay, you can photograph them, scan them in, but keep them all, put them in a folder so that when it comes to put your folders together, you've got all your drawings. Take your own pictures. Essential part here. So with it on your phone, use a camera, take all your pictures. Do a questionnaire, okay? So don't be afraid to ask your parents or your brothers and sisters and your client some questions about the product they're making. Check against the NEA app, so that's very essential. That's your working document, again, as I said before, okay? Make your work original, use different fonts and add different backgrounds. Just need to understand that these exemplars are exemplars and your folders should look totally different. And the last but not least we talked about before was add an evaluation or conclusion to each sheet, and this will help you access that 20 marks of evaluation at the bottom of the mark scheme. Okay, thank you, and don't hesitate to actually contact me if you've got any questions.